I'm going to demonstrate how to make a striped cord, and in this case I'm going to use rug yarn. It's quite chunky, and you can see that it's made a really nice striped cord of two orange and 2 white. To set this up, I'm using this white rug yarn, and I'm going to use this as 2 strands per element, so each of these hooks is taking 2 strands, and to do that I'm going to go up to the out end with 1 pair of yarns, come back. I don't need to tie this off at this stage. I can just go back again with a second loop from my cone, and this will give me 2 strands per element. If I wanted to, I could go on and do multi-strands per element. I can now tie this one off. On the top pair of hooks I'm going to use this rustic coloured yarn. It's the same count of yarn, and again I'm going to use 2 ends per hook. Onto one hook, onto the other hook, draw it up to the out end. Back to the hook on the left hand side on the top, and then don't cut it off but draw it up again on the 2 hooks. Come back and cut it and tie it off, and you want to make sure that the 4 elements are of even tension. I now release the tethering cord, and I can now start to wind. This again is an S-twist yarn, and I can, as a left-hander, I'm taking it away from me, the winding away from me. You'll see that although there were 2 individual yarns on the hooks, they're now starting to twist together to make 1 element. I'm walking in towards the out end as the twist goes on, and it's drawing me in. It's starting to get harder to wind, so I'm now going to stop winding. Now, when you're making a striped cord, it's very important at this stage not to loosen the tension. To get my even 2 and 2 stripes, I pull the break pin out, and then very carefully, but keeping it under tension, I wind the cord in the opposite direction, in the same direction, and this will make a Z twist cord. By keeping the tension up, I'm not getting a problem with what's called a jump over, where sometimes the different colours jump out of sequence. The twist is now got up to the hooks at this end, and I'm taking it off to applying an overhand knot. And there you have a striped cord. And at this again I'm going to put this onto a single hook and tie a holding thread into the end to stop it unravelling. You can see there's a slight bit of twist left in that one, but you can just draw that out. And there you have a striped cord. I've illustrated how to make a Z twist cord, which started off with S twist elements. I'm now going to show you how to make the same cord but with the opposite twist. You can do this if you have multi-strands, and in this case we're going to use 2 strands per element again. So I'm going to put the white on the bottom pair of hooks. Come back and put a second strand on the bottom pair of hooks. And tie it off. On the top pair of hooks I'm going to do a rusty colour, and again 2 strands per element. And tie it off. I'm going to check that my brake pin is in, take it off. Now this time I'm going to take the hooks in the opposite direction. So the first time I was using, although this is an S-twist yarn, I was taking the yarn with more S-twist in the initial twisting. This time I'm going to take it against its twist, so it's going to have a Z twist. And although it's actually going against the twist, because there are 2 elements, if you have 2 or more strands per element, you can do this and it will twist against itself. So as a left-hander I'm going to bring the handle towards me this time. You'll find that you need more twists when you're doing a cord where you're going against the twist, because you're slightly unravelling them before they then twist up again. And as before, keeping it all under tension at all times. It's now getting to harder work, so I think that's enough. Keeping it under tension, I'm going to take the brake pin out, and again holding my handle in the rotating handle, I'm going to bring it towards me, and you'll see that you're now making a Z twist cord. Continue putting in the counter twist until the twist is right up near the knots at this end. Take it off the hooks, put your winder down somewhere safe, and then tie an overhand knot at this end. At the other end, I'm going to take this onto a single hook and tie a loop through. You'll see at this end, this is quite interesting, where the twist has jumped over, and you'll see you're getting a 1 and 1 rust and white. This occasionally happens, but the main thing is when you're doing the length of cord to keep it under tension, and this shouldn't happen. I can correct this at the end just in my fingers. So there you have a Z twist cord. And if we look at this next to the S twist cord, you'll see that it's like a small chevron. One is like the centre of an S and one is like the centre of a Z. I'm now going to explain the difference between S and Z cords, or S and Z yarn. So in the case of a yarn, this is a rug yarn, and you'll see that any yarn has a twist in it. And if I unply it slightly like this, you'll start to see that the centre of this yarn has an angle to it, and that angle is in the same direction as the centre of an S illustrated in this diagram. So it's that angle. If we look at the cords that I've just made, you'll see that this one has an angle in this direction, which is like the centre of a Z, which means this is a Z twist cord, whereas this one, the angle of the twist is like the centre of an S, which means it's an S twist cord. So any plied yarn will come with an S or a Z twist, and ideally you want to use the same twist on each of the elements when you're tying up your yarn ready for cord making, because you want the elements to always go in the same direction as each other. So rather than having some twisting up and some unravelling, you always want them to twist up together.